for FEUCSO President.
My name is Jade Anthony de la Cruz, and I'm running for FEUCSO President.
Purpose-driven, people-oriented, results-based.
Optimistic, risk-taker, competitive.
Ideal leader is actually Jesus Christ. He is the best example of servant leadership and authentic leadership. Servant leadership meaning he puts the people first before his welfare, and then authentic leadership meaning he goes beyond his personal gains and go deeper into the welfare of the people. And he actually demonstrates on how he can live his comfortable life and go deep and go with the people on how they go with their lives. I can be like him on her by the term picker upper. Picker upper is actually embodied in the term identite. It's actually picking people on their current situation or current state, and then making it into a point that you elevate them before their current state. And while doing the elevation part, actually you are lower. You are lower by the people or the projects that you are elevating.
My ideal leader is my former mentor. He is J.B. Badile. He was able to capture the students' interest and make them participate in the FEUCSO's activities. He is willing to take risks, and he has sacrificed his personal interests in order for the students to get what they need and what they want. As much as possible, I try to learn every day new things that would equip me with the competencies that I need to become a better student leader. I make it to a point that each day I talk to students, I help them learn who they are, and I make it to a point that my committee members are also trained to become student leaders in the future.
My personal challenge was actually being deprived when it comes to finances. Both of my parents are actually unemployed, and then my father doesn't know actually to read and write. So at an early age, we are taught that we have to maximize our resources in order for us to achieve our goals. And then I was able to overcome it by again using my abilities and expertise. Number one, I did tutorials at an early age, and then I established several micro businesses, and then I did also maximize scholarships opportunities and even connections for me to actually get what I want to get on my vision, and then while maximizing on the resources available.
My greatest personal challenge is knowing my true self. It is very important to know my personal identity in order for me to really give my best to others. It was a long time process knowing myself, what I really want, and what makes me happy. And knowing myself now, I believe that I am more capable, I am more ready to be serving myself for the students.
I'm really passionate about social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurship is actually maximizing on the expertise, abilities, and strengths of an individual and directing those strengths, abilities, and expertise towards a greater goal of elevating the community and actually addressing social inequities and addressing the pressing issues of the society. So far, what I did was actually two things. Number one is I'm going into the business. I've started a school supply store at our barangay. That was the first school supply in our barangay, because I've seen how it's so hard for a student to walk kilometers away just to get a piece of paper or a piece of pen. And then the second one was the Scholars in Action. Scholars in Action are a group of scholars from the town of Pampanga, wherein we collaborate efforts to get partnerships with corporate NGOs and then local government and for sustainable educational attainment. Aside from that, we maximize on the entrepreneurship. We sell school supplies and then put a touch of the story of the scholar on it in order again to inspire those students who are blessed with resources such as money, for them to be inspired that on the different side of the world there is someone who actually needs money but wasn't able to get it. So it's a kind of inspiration that for that person, I should be able to maximize that resources. I should study well because on the other part of the globe, someone needs it, but is actually fighting for it, for that specific resources.
It was my advocacy back then. It was HIV awareness and prevention. For the past 2 years, we have advocated for awareness regarding the transmission of HIV. And so far, we have been successful in educating the students of FEU. And I want to continue and sustain that program until next year, until I become elected. And it is something that needs great concern among the students. And it is something that everyone should be knowledgeable of.
K to 12 is actually beneficial, however, every benefit has a cost. So for me, it is positive because we are the only country in the Southeast Asia that is late about the K to 12 program. The goal of the K to 12 is actually good because it gives, number one, specialty program for those who are actually inclined with arts, with business, inclined with sports. It doesn't actually force you to get a college degree, but it actually gives you an option if you want to venture some other things, such as if you are into really arts, if you are into business, and then it gives those people who are really into for college level to gain expertise on their field. It is positive because it gives people option. Number one is for expertise. Number two is for vocational.
I agree with the implementation of the K to 12 law for 3 reasons. First, it makes our students more globally competitive. Second, it makes our educational system parallel to the global standards. And lastly, the K to 12 law will further equip our students who cannot go into college given that they have vocational skills that they can use as their means for livelihood.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
Yes.
I have no problem with regards to those people who came from another political party. Number one, I've been a non-partisan for 4 years. It's my first time to be in a political party. So at the end of the day, my goal here is actually for FEUCSO. Political party with regards to their advocacy is second for me. However, there must be balance because in my months of being in a political party, I've seen that they also have some advocacy. So it is a portion wherein I should balance. With regards to delegating tasks or actually dealing with the opposing parties, number one, I should establish my credibility. So at the end of the day, they will not worry about if I came from Samasa or Sandigan. They will worry about my credibility and my ability and strength to run the organization. At the end of the day, the person who was actually the president or any officer should be able to make others realize that you are really competent enough to handle situations and to handle the team.
Like what I did for the past 3 years, we welcome them not because of their political affiliations, but welcoming them of how willing they are to be part of the Central Student Organization. We had honed their skills, their competencies to become better student leaders. Regardless of their political affiliations, I believe that no one is indispensable of those opportunities that they are bound to receive. And again, in my 3 years of stay in the FEUCSO, I've been welcoming everyone to be part of FEUCSO and training them to become better student leaders.
Number one, I have a clear vision. Second, I have clear actions to make that vision come true. Number one, I am not selling myself. I am selling the projects. I am selling the platforms that we actually talk within the group. However, I should sell myself also because I must be competent enough to make those projects realize. So we have actually 6 projects that are actually catering the 6 pillars of holistic advancement, ranging from academic excellence, inclusive leadership, transparency and good governance, connectivity and collaborations, and student mobilization. And then the last thing would be the social entrepreneurship, which is sustainable community initiatives. So I am asking for the whole FEU community to elect me as their president, because next year we will set the standard of student leadership. We will set the standard of student leadership, wherein this is actually going back to my 3 adjectives. This is results-based, goal-oriented, and advocacy-driven.
I am someone who has the experience. I am someone who has the heart for service. For the last 3 years of being part of the Central Student Organization, I know how the system works. I know what the problems, the needs, the concerns, and inquiries of the students, and I know how to solve them.